Welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the Almighty B Live, the Money Man Scottie D, and your host, the head of creative, Eddy Cool. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means? It's time for another action-packed episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. That's right, the little woman in the notification let us know that we're recording now, but guess what? We already know we're recording now. We've been off 1 week, and we got people trying to tell us how to do this thing, how to run our podcast, but guess what, though? We know how to run this. This ain't our first time doing this. We've been doing this for a couple of years in a row by now. I go by the name of HOC, the Eddy Cool, up in this thing. And of course, I got two of the best co-hosts in the world. Introducing first, the Almighty B Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Oh my goodness, it feels so good to say that after a week off, man. But I don't know what to tell you. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, you can see I was living my best life last week on Monday because I was out there. I don't even care, man. My whole left side hurt because I hit the water the wrong way. But it is what it is. And just want to go ahead and let you know that this week is also going to be a whole bunch of shenanigans because it is officially your boy, the Almighty B Live's birthday week is about to go
Happy
down.
birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, absolutely. My birthday is Wednesday, but so we're recording on Monday, published on Tuesday. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw the hat. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Cash App out there. $ your boy B Live. You can be a silver plan member for the price of 39 cents, a gold plan member for $3.90, and a platinum plan member for $39. If you're not catching the trend, it will be my 39th birthday. Hit a brother up in the Cash App. If you're not gonna be there. Yes, sir. My bad. It really became all about me. Go ahead and introduce the other guy.
I think 39 people already disconnected from this podcast.
They already took off. And the other voice you hear is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania. The one, the only, the Money Man, Scottie D.
Back to life, back to reality, back to educate, be live. Wah, 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 wah. I'm ready to talk some sports. I missed you guys last week. And in case I don't say this enough, you're welcome for me joining you.
We want you just to stick to talking about sports. You and singing just ain't gonna cut it. You remember you just said that 39 people just left the podcast? I'm gonna say no, you did not. You probably just alienated Uncle Max. And he's a Hall of Famer, but he was like, "No, I ain't got no. I'm not having no parts of this." But as we normally do from time to time, we digress.
Boy, I look good in this shirt. If you're just listening and not seeing, I look really good in this shirt. Anyway, let's go. Let's talk some sports.
You have a face for radio.
I do.
Wow, the whole face for wow. You really went there, B Live. You really went.
Oldest joke in the book. Let's talk some sports, my bros.
All right, since we're here, we are talking about sports because this is the Sports Bros Podcast. And there's a lot going on in the world of the NBA. Speaking of the NBA, we got the NBA playoffs going on right now. The Lakers, they're not in the playoffs no more. Luka and the Mavericks, they got eliminated too. And Kristaps Porzingis is whining about his role, but you were in New York not too long ago, but that's neither here nor there. So we got a whole lot going on in the NBA playoffs. So as it speaks right now, we got the current matchups going into the second round. We got the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Atlanta Hawks, a good inning series. Also, we got the Bucks and the Nets over in the East. And out in the West, we got the Jazz and the Clippers and Denver and the Phoenix Suns. Be Live, what have you seen so far in this playoffs? And what are some takeaways that you take away from these here playoffs?
Well, the first thing that I'm going to do that the Four Letter Network refuses to do, I'm going to make this about the teams that are still in it.
Good.
Because I'm gonna let it be known right now, because we know this is a media-driven league, et cetera, blah, 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 big market teams and whatever. some people are going to say that, oh, none of the big names are in the playoffs, and that's going to be lower viewership. You would be an absolute fool right now not to be watching every single NBA game right now, because this season right here, you're seeing the rise of new stars. And I'm telling you right now, first and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Trae Young, he the real deal. I was a doubter. I was like, oh man, he's gonna be another Steph Curry, gonna shoot the ball from half court and no. This dude is
another
balling.
Steph Curry.
Another one.
I said,
I think he could be better.
Oh.
I think Trae Young could be better than Steph Curry. I'm saying here first. Only reason why Trae Young is not going to be better than Steph Curry is because of the people around him. But I think talent-wise, Trae Young he's had to do more with less. And I'm telling you right now, he's already, hey, 76ers, they may be in trouble. I'm going to let you know that right now. Joel Embiid came from injury, came back with 39 points and still lost to Trae Young. So I'm just saying, you heard it here first. Trae Young is the man to watch right now. Also, I want to say something about Kawhi Leonard. You know, he's had multiple NBA Finals championships, MVP, et cetera, et cetera. But I think the way that he finished off Game 7 against the Mavericks, I think he's finally coming in the form of being the leader of the team. He's talented. He's uber talented. He's all around player. But I think one thing I haven't seen, except for maybe a couple times of flash in the pan, is him really take the team on his shoulders to say, I got this. And man, oh man, he showed out. So man, I'm looking forward to that. It's
not his personality to do that though.
But
he's a silent assassin, and he's not like a vocal leader. It's really not his style to do that.
Sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes really more than anything.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. But I think honestly is when you put the ball down, you dribble the ball, you take it down and put it down the other team's throat. People rally around that, and there's a reason why he's won multiple championships. And I think the team rallies around him. If we finally get playoff P in Paul George, because I don't know where that nickname ever came from, but if he could ever put it together, this would be the year to do it. I think, man, it's going to be exciting across the board. I love every single matchup that we're going to have. It's going to be very interesting. Oh my goodness! And then you got the Brooklyn Nets that James Harden goes down in injury, and they still do what needs to be done. It's going to be good. It's going to be good basketball all around, except with the occasional everybody shooting 3-pointers, which some basketball enthusiasts and old schoolers might not like. I'm in the fence with that. I like smash mouth basketball. But you do have to score the ball. Like I like the Knicks style of play, but I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I like that style of play. I like defensive basketball, but man, if somebody's hot, they are hot. So I mean, we'll get into predictions in a little bit, but I just wanted to just bring that energy. It's going to be a great playoff. It's already been. I love every bit of it. Scottie D, what do you think about it?
Well, we've already lost both teams that were in the finals last year, so this is going to be wide open this year, which is pretty cool actually, because in the NBA, the trend is always you have teams that are there year in and year out, at least one or the other. We had Cavs and Warriors 4 straight years,
Mm-hmm.
In the 80s, we had Lakers and Celtics over and over again. And you had the Bulls run, and then the Spurs run, and then the Kobe Shaq. So this is good, I think, for the NBA to get some new blood into the finals. But who do we trust here? Do we trust the Clippers because Paul George doesn't typically step up into the playoffs, so it's going to be on Kawhi? Do we trust Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz? We've seen those guys come up short from time to time. Do we trust Giannis in the East to get by Brooklyn? I don't know. Who are we liking? Who do we think? You're talking about Trae Young being the breakout star of the playoffs, and I think you're probably right about that. But there's also a case to be made for Devin Booker, who pretty much carried the Suns right on by the Lakers. Well, the Lakers were up 2-1 in that series and didn't win again. And those games were in LA. A couple of those games were in LA. So Devin Booker went off in the closeout game.
Yes, he did.
Do we think does Phoenix have enough to get by a veteran team like the Clippers? I mean, the Clippers are. I kind of feel like in the West right now, it's the Clippers to lose. I feel like they got to be the ones that are favored going forward, and I think Brooklyn has to be in the East. Even with Harden down, I think they can win this series, and then to win a championship, he could be back. I don't think they said that the hamstring injury would keep him out the rest of the way, if I'm not mistaken, right? That they said there's no structural damage to his hamstring; it's just a pull.
So they could
conceive a strain, so he could conceivably miss 2 weeks, which is basically a series, and be back in the Eastern Conference Finals, assuming they get there. So. I don't know. I like how I kind of like how it's wide open. You guys know I'm a Laker fan, but you also know that I was a little bit unenthused with not only them but the whole NBA this season. I'm trying to keep up now that it's playoff time and watch a little bit more of this. And what I'm seeing is 2 young stars, one in the East, one in the West, emerging. But I don't know if either one of those guys, Trae Young or Devin Booker, has what it takes team-wise to advance to the next level.
I think in Phoenix. Phoenix will put up a fight. They will take you to 7 games. They just had that in them with Chris Paul leading them. And then you also got, Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton finally getting it together, and Cameron Payne, coming up off the bench. Phoenix has a lot of upside going on. But
right. They're young with the veteran leadership and the size. I mean, they have a lot going for them, Eddie Cool.
Yeah, they do have a lot going on, but I think the Clippers, now that the Lakers are out the way, is now or never for the Clippers. It is now or never.
I agree.
For them because it's I'm not going to underestimate Utah. All right, I'm definitely not going to underestimate them, because we seen last year when Donovan Mitchell is in his bag, he gets hot and he's very hard to stop.
I don't know who else is on the team though. I don't even know who else is on Utah.
Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert.
To me, I feel like he's a one-man gang on that team, and if he's not I think Utah needs more. I really do. I think they're a really good regular season team.
Here's the one thing I'll say about Utah that nobody's giving them any respect, is the fact that Utah is the only team in the NBA that was top 5 in offensive and defensive efficiency. Rudy Gobert has made a lot of noise in that paint. And I think that is a difference maker for Utah. But I just still I agree partly with the Clippers, except for one problem. One problem with the Clippers.
And what's that, B-Live?
They had no answer. They had absolutely no answer for Luka. They had no answer for Luka at all. And I'm telling you, if it comes down to it, Devin Booker going to do the same thing.
Well, but not many people have an answer for Luka. So,
Donovan Mitchell just might, I don't know. It's a lot going on. I'm going to go ahead and say this right now because I'm looking at some scores right now. Milwaukee, just give it up. It's done. It's over. I'm going to call it right now. It is right now. It's 47-27. In the middle of the second quarter. Come on. It's I don't even want to I could look up a little bit more just to see how it's going, but man, it only to score 19 points in the first quarter. Yeah, but I'm looking at that right now, and Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn wins the East, and I think it's not. I don't even think it's close. Again, I like Trae Young. I think Atlanta does pull it off and make it to the conference final, but they're going to be way outmatched against Brooklyn. It's not even going to be pretty. In the Western Conference again, you've got the Nuggets versus the Suns. I think the Suns are going to win that. You got Utah versus the Clippers.
You like the Nuggets over Phoenix?
No. I say Phoenix. I say Phoenix.
Okay, I thought you said you liked the Nuggets. Okay.
Nah.
Fair enough.
The Joker, he good, but I just think it's one of those things where the Suns are coming to, like, they're really coming around. Like, not only is Chris Paul, they're limiting his minutes. Like, Cameron's, what is his name again? Cameron Payne?
Johnson.
Cameron Payne. Yeah, Cameron Payne.
Cameron Payne, their backup point guard.
Insane Cameron Payne?
Sure. Exactly. You just came up with that. I think you just came up with that. Anyway.
See, you're lucky to have me around for that kind of stuff.
But yeah, I just think Cameron Payne is he's becoming exactly what they need him to be in these times. Chris Paul, you don't want to have him on the court for 35, 40 minutes. He is injury prone, but Cameron Payne is doing what needs to be done. Devin Booker is who Devin Booker is. I think, that's a beautiful thing. I think Suns, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Number 1 versus number 2 in the West. It's going to be Suns versus Utah. I really think that the defensive prowess of Utah is really going to shine. Defense wins championships.
Mm-hmm.
I really, honestly, God, I think playoff P is going to do something bonehead. And Kawhi, as much as he tries, I just feel like Utah is their time. It's their time. One thing I want to mention about these playoffs also is that out of the 8 teams that are in the playoffs, I don't know if it's 4 or 5, but 4 or 5 of the teams in the playoffs right now have never won an NBA title. I think that's beautiful for the sport. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I want to watch every bit of it. So
I had no idea about that. I'm glad you shined that little bit of light on us, fellas.
It was 4 of 9. It was 4 of 9 when the series went to 7 between Dallas and the Clippers. I can't remember because I want to say Dallas won 1. So so it's 4 teams that have not won an NBA championship. So
wow.
We shall see.
Yep, we shall see. And from the looks of it, we are very enthusiastic about these here NBA playoffs. And speaking of playoffs, let's go ahead and go to the other side, the NHL playoffs. Whoa, these Carolina Hurricanes, they are down 3-1 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Meanwhile, the Boston Bruins, the series is tied at 2 with them and the New York Islanders. The Colorado Avalanche and the Las Vegas Golden Knights, that's also tied at 2 apiece. And the Montreal Canadiens, they could bust out the broom and get the Winnipeg Jets. Yes, the hell up out of here with the quickness.
That's the hottest team going right now, because if I'm not mistaken, the Canadiens were down 3-1 to Toronto, came back and won that series, and they're up 3-0 in this series against Winnipeg. So Montreal is sizzling right now.
Yeah, man, they are.
And then that Islanders Bruins series is tied, but as we're recording, the Islanders are up 4-2 after 2 periods, so they have the edge to go up 3-2 here, as we are recording on Monday evening.
Yep, and we're inching closer. These, like I said, these doggone Hurricanes, they just, a few nights ago, there was a big old goal scoring frenzy. They scored 8 goals in 1 period or something like that. And it went real crazy. And they still lost. Man. Tampa Bay, man, they're here to play some hockey, man. Play some real physical hockey, man. They got everybody back. Everybody's healthy. I think they may still be stinging from 2 years ago from when they had the best record in the league and, won the President's Trophy and then got bounced out of the first round, only come back the following year to win it all. And so who knows, man, we might be, from the looks of it, man, we might be poised for a Montreal and Tampa Bay Stanley Cup final. What y'all think?
It's early on that.
You think it's early?
I mean, I don't know. Montreal, as hot as Montreal is, I don't know. I these Islanders and Bruins games, man, these guys are grinding, but it still seems like Tampa Bay's head and shoulders above everyone at this point. I don't know. It's hockey, such a crapshoot, man.
It is.
Well, Tampa Bay is trying to remind everybody, because they must have forgot that they did win the Stanley Cup last year. So, I mean, it's a complete different element being in the bubble and such, but still, talent above talent wins games, and Tampa Bay is not messing around. but there is no quit. I guarantee there's no quit when it comes to my Hurricanes. And so and then again, the Montreal, the Habs, the Canadiens, what is going on with them? You wonder at times where they came from. And now they're looking like, okay, just gonna let y'all know. I mean, one of the most winningest programs in NHL history. They're like, don't forget about us. Something we still here. So see how it goes.
I think it's about time the country of Canada gets a Stanley Cup, because the last team to win the Stanley Cup from Canada was the Montreal Canadiens, I think back in 1993, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's definitely been a Canadian drought. Definitely been a Canadian drought. If I'm a Habs fan, hey, look, shut these Jets out and do what we got to do. Get to the conference finals, handle business in the cup finals, and raise that cup high as we ever can. Well, fellas, news broke on Sunday. Like we said, we record on Monday, so sometimes we get some news throughout the weekend. But Julio Jones, you remember when A.J. Brown made his pitch to get Julio Jones to the Tennessee Titans? It happened. Yep. And Julio Jones has been traded to the Tennessee Titans. All right. So the Falcons trade Julio Jones to the Titans. And then the Falcons trade Julio Jones to the Titans. All right. And then the Falcons receive a 2022 second round and a 2023 third round pick. And fellas, with that being said, do you think the Titans, with the addition of Julio Jones, you think they are a top 5 offense?
Top 5? I don't think top 5 with Tannehill. I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's electric enough. I mean, he's going to have weapons now, but it seemed like last year the pattern is let's just go ahead and shut down Derrick Henry and force him to beat you. So if that's what teams are going to do this year, sell out on Derrick Henry. And I mean, Julio Jones, does he even stay healthy? I mean, at this point, he's past his peak. I mean, he just is. Obviously, teams weren't beating down the door to get him because of his cap number and his inability to stay on the field. So I'm going to have to see it first, man. I want to, before I say, man, I really like Tennessee. That division's in flux with Carson Wentz being the quarterback in Indy, and who knows what's going on with the quarterback situation in Houston, and Jacksonville's in an obvious rebuild. So I gotta say, with that move, Tennessee becomes a favorite to win that division, though, don't you think?
I think so. What about you, B Live?
I look at it this way. Honest to God, I think that, again, it's all about health. If Julio Jones can stay healthy, you can't stack the box against Derrick Henry, and that makes for a very dangerous situation. Because I still think to this day that you have to have safety help when it comes to Julio Jones if he's healthy. I think it does pole vault them to winning their division.
But a lot of that has to do with the quarterback too. I think Matt Ryan is a superior quarterback to Ryan Tannehill. I mean, Tannehill's had a nice couple of years here in Tennessee, but I'm not sold on him yet, really.
I don't think none of us are, to be honest with you.
Has Tannehill had a target like Julio Jones?
No,
I would say he hasn't, but I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet. I guess Julio Jones is he the same guy he was even 3 years ago, 2 years? I don't know. I'm not. I got to see it before I start buying it. In this case, I mean, sometimes you'll hear something, you go, "Ooh, I'm excited to see it. That's going to work." I don't have that feeling with this one.
And from the looks of it, Julio Jones will wear number 8. Meanwhile,
I look at it this way. Scottie D, you said that teams weren't beating down the door. I mean, it's only June 7th. They put him on the trade market June 1st. I think there were teams looking for him. It's only been 6 days.
They put him on the trade market June 1st, but it's not like we just found out that he was going to be moving on June 1st. We've known this for a while now. Come on.
He even told us this on national TV. Whether he knew
Here's
it or
what I
not.
say to you, Be Live.
I'm just saying, hey, second and third round draft pick for Julio Jones at this point in time. I think that the Titans got to steal. I think they got to steal.
I think it's worth it to try it. I mean, for what they gave up for him, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yep, we shall see. In other NFL news, fellas, guess who's not going to show up to mandatory minicamp? Anybody got a guess? Anybody want to guess?
Green Bay guy, the guy in Green Bay.
Do we really have to talk about him?
I just want to throw that in there. I just want to just kind of sprinkle it in there. You know, I'm doing this the news and notes section, so you know.
That's my answer to you, Eddie Cole.
Mine too. Devontae Adams said, "Yeah, I'll show up, but I don't know about my quarterback. You know, I guess he'll be catching passes from Jordan Love and Blake Bortles. Yeah. You wanna put your franchise, you want to put the future of your team on Blake Bortles. You see how that worked for Jacksonville, right?
Right.
They spent a first round draft pick and moved up for a quarterback, so they're actually they're planning on putting the franchise in Jordan Love's hands, which again is the whole reason why we're here. And so I really don't even want to talk about it anymore because it don't make a bit of sense at all.
Move right along, fellas.
Go ahead. I was going to say, but Aaron Rodgers is also being a bit prima donna-ish right now.
No. Not Aaron Rodgers.
Not him. No.
I think you're misreading that situation.
He's a bad prima donna. You thought I was going to say, man. No, he's just he doing too much right now.
I know what you mean, B-Live. But I forgot to ask this question, fellas. With Julio Jones now in Tennessee, do you think the Falcons are trending downward? Is this the start of a rebuild for the organization?
Oh yeah, I think they need. I mean, they got a new coach to start with. Matt Ryan is obviously towards the end of his career at this point. I think they're gonna. Yeah, I think they're going to have to probably maybe next year let some veterans go and just look to start building from the ground up again.
The reason why they let Julio Jones go was because of his massive contract, and they couldn't even pay their draft picks.
Wow.
So that's only going to get worse with Matt Ryan still being there and other veterans. They really will have to do a complete rebuild. And we have absolutely zero. Do y'all have an idea who Matt Ryan's backup is?
Matt Schaub?
I don't know. But does that make you feel any better about the franchise in Atlanta?
Chris Redman?
I don't know where Matt Ryan is on his contract. I mean, I wasn't really looking to talk about this topic, but he could be even the guy that they move on from next year. I don't know how many more years left or how much his cap hit is going to be, but Atlanta needs a do-over. They need a reboot.
Yep, they need a reboot. But fellas, guess what doesn't need a reboot?
Talk to me.
It is time once again for our favorite portion of the show. And with that being said, it is time, fellas, for the choices of the voices. And with that being said, hey, yo, button, hit it.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and ever so lovely Miss Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show. You heard a woman, she ain't got no right or reason to lie. This is the choices of the voices. When we ask you a question, you give us an answer. We'll give you our answer. I'm pretty sure Trey Dizzle got some foolishness, as he always does. He never... Trey Dizzle is the gift that keeps on giving, in case you don't know by now, especially with the one where he was talking about Dak Prescott, his mom and daddy not meeting, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. Enough of my incoherent rambling. Scottie D, what's the question for this week's Choices of the Voices?
All right. So we were talking about the song or a song that you hear that most relates to sports, something that triggers you, a song you hear and you can't help but think of the world of sports in some capacity. Lots of answers this week on this. We had 2 weeks. We gave you 2 weeks this time, guys, to give us something good to talk about, and you came through. Eddy, cool. What did these guys say? What did they sing to us?
What did they sing to us? Me, 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 me. Well, they didn't sing like that. All right, so here we go. We got Jason Weisberg. He said Renegade, the song name Renegade.
That has something to do with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I don't know exactly what, but it's a Steeler thing.
Okay, Renegade. All right, got you. All right, and speaking of the devil himself, Trey Dizzle gives us another good one, another great one. He says, "Where Have All the Cowboys Gone" by Paula Cole. That song makes me cry every time I hear it, but I always cheer myself up by listening to the sound of Dak Prescott's ankle breaking.
Oh man, that's wrong.
It's just okay. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Because this is the gift that keeps on giving, Trey Dizzle. I think we are getting to the point where the choices of the voices, you find a new way to promote your hatred for one Dak Prescott. You doing too much now. We went on full on abortion to now we're talking about like ankles,
limb snapping,
like hoping careers end. And what is wrong with you, man? Good Lord! And then I have to throw in there $160 million, $127 million guaranteed. Oh,
yeah. For those of you, if you've not listened to us before, Trey Duke is a big Cowboys fan and a big Dak Prescott hater. So that's where we're at with this, and he's proving it week in and week out. Eddy, cool. Back to you.
All right, back to me. All right, here we go. We got Matty Ice, Martin Tracy, and he says, "Boy George, do you really want to hurt me?" Don't sue me because I ain't got no money. Boy George, do you really want to hurt me? Every time I hear that song, reminds me of my Golden Glove years, as it was my theme song when I entered the ring. He was a boxer.
Oh, nothing hypes you up for a fight more than Culture Club. I know that much.
Oh, Karma Chameleon.
What the things you did not know? All right, well, all right, you.
All right. Oh, and then he says sometimes he would switch it up to Rump Shaker by Rex and Effect. That's a little bit more upbeat if you get ready to get into a fight, I guess.
Zoom, 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 man, boom, boom.
Just shake your up. Wow.
All right, doing all that good stuff.
Why do I not play that during karaoke? That's like when I'm DJing. My bad. I just thank you for that one. All right, cool.
You gotta play that. You gotta play that. All right. So then he goes on to say that song. Yes, that one. That song always reminds me of the Red Sox. Is Sweet Caroline. I absolutely hate it. Maybe it'll go away. I don't know how that became the tradition at the Fenway Bunch. How it became a tradition at Fenway. A bunch of jabronis started, I suppose. And then he also said Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne's at Patriots games. That's a good choice there.
Good choice. I don't know why.
The Sweet Caroline thing, didn't that come from a movie where they were sitting around the piano? Then it was set. It might have been set in Boston. I feel like there was a Michael Rappaport movie, and they were playing it. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, because I know that wasn't like the song Sweet Caroline's been around since the 70s, and the Red Sox weren't doing that at Fenway Park. They weren't playing that, all those years, like through the 70s and 80s. But I feel like maybe that it may have gone back to a movie, and I might be completely wrong on that one, but I thought there was a movie that they were playing that song. They were all at a bar, and I thought it might have been in the Northeast. I thought it might have been set in the Boston area. I don't know.
Okay, this is where Google comes into play, and this is directly from MLB.com. So how did this somewhat goofy tradition start? During a 1997 game at Fenway, Amy Tobey, an employee in charge of ballpark music during the season, played Sweet Caroline because someone she knew had just had a baby named Caroline. For the next few years, The song would be played on select occasions at the ballpark.
Okay, I was totally wrong then, but
I'm gonna go with MLB.com.
Yeah, we'll go with that one then. And see, there you go, Matty Ice. This show is enlightening and entertaining both. You might learn something listening to the Sports Bros podcast. I know I just did.
Me too. All right, Rich Trudeau, he says the Bills make me want to shout. You know, you make me want to shout. In my hands up and he says shout. All right. Terrible Pete Talansky. He says, for me, the song that is about baseball is always Talking Baseball. Always is Talking Baseball by Terry Cashman, both the original version and the Yankees versions specifically. Yes.
That's Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. It's did you guys ever hear that song? Willie, Mickey, and the Duke.
I haven't.
We're talking base. Yeah, at overtime, the sports bar I used to run, and we used to play that one during like playoff time and stuff, during commercials and stuff. But that was then the Yankees made a lesser known version of it. But that Willie, Mickey, and the Duke song, that was a popular, like old school song.
We're gonna put a pin in it real quick because once I read that origin story, because I thought it was like a long-standing Red Sox tradition. I'm sorry, we didn't move on. But the Panthers have been playing that from the jump. So you tell me that you dirty Red Sox, well, for what? Because a baby was named you know what? My bad.
Steeler.
I would have thought that somehow, some way, because the Panthers have been around since they came into existence 1993, first season was 1995, et cetera, history, blah, blah, blah. I would have thought that was it just sounded good because of Sweet Caroline, Carolina, bum, bum, bum. Good times never felt so good. So good. But yeah, all right.
So good. Oh, my bad. I got carried away there. All right.
I know.
Yeah, moving right along, we got JoJo Comfort, the best name in the game. Joe Comfort, he says, Queens, we are the champions without a single doubt. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, anytime your team's won a championship and you hear that song play, it's kind of one of those goosebumpy moments where you want to hear that song for your team. But Be Live, you and I were talking earlier, there's another Queen song that we were thinking of that also gets a lot of play in arenas.
Yep.
I still don't know the beginning lyrics to it, but it ends up with the doom doom ch, doom doom ch, doom doom ch, doom doom ch. Put
on your face, big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, saying,
"We will." Yeah. Okay. I've still I've never learned the lyrics. I might need to do that at some point in time. But all right, cool.
And the guitar solo was awesome. Oh, it's awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyways, move right along. We got the Hall of Famer himself, Uncle Max. He said, everyone always knew a big day of NFL football was about to get underway when Scott Donnelly, the money man, played Let's Get It Started at Overtime Sports Cafe. Always had that song in my head on Sunday mornings while doing prep and eating donuts. Yes, good old Krispy Kreme donuts. Turn the hot on. To this day, when I hear this song, I think about the NFL, not to mention the good times we had at overtime. Uncle Max.
The good times. Yeah, well, that's I'm flattered that he chose that one, because as running that place helping to run that place for all those years, tradition on Sunday morning was I would go to Krispy Kreme and bring in a couple boxes of donuts for the staff on football Sunday. And then right at the last commercial before the 1:00 games, I would play Black Eyed Peas, Let's Get It Started, and announce where all the different games were going to be on the various screens. And that was a good time. That really was. I mean, NFL Sunday at overtime, we used to get really pumped up. It was a great time. I mean, NFL Sunday is awesome no matter what, but we had a couple of traditions back there. So that was, I think of that whenever I hear that song as well. I'll always remember NFL Sunday. I'd say happy football Sunday at overtime. Anything else on this list, Eddie? Cool.
We got a few more. We got Dave Ramito. He says Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll Part 2. Money.
Da 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 da.
Hey!
Da, da, da.
My favorite song. I never hear anyone that is more original than the TWIB. That's This Week in Baseball, right?
Yep.
This Week in Baseball intro. Don't think I'll hear that anywhere unless I play it myself, but still so cool. Hey, had to throw that in there. Yep. So Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll Part 2 and the theme song to This Week in Baseball.
Yeah, that was cool. Listening to This Week in Baseball when I was a kid. That was super.
Yep, that was another one. All right, Brian Early. Guess what he says? Sweet Caroline at a pit game.
But I mean, why is it they singing these songs anywhere besides Carolina?
Hey man, things happen, man.
I think people just like to yell so good, so good, so good. I think that's the thing. People just like to get together and yell and do stuff like that. That's easy and unrehearsed.
Kind of like the one song, why do we drink to get drunk? Why do we smoke to get hot? Call and response, man. Call and response songs, man. It's no matter how old it is, call and response are the best. Call and response songs are the best there is right there. Yeah, Brian Early says Sweet Caroline at a pit game is always a pretty cool moment. People just want a reason to yell, just like you guys said.
Just like nowadays, people like to go and yell, oh, 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 oh. That's kind of replaced the da 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 da. Hey, it's kind of evolved over to that one now. Whenever you're in the arenas or stadiums.
Yep. All right, and shout out to Jason, Trey Dizzle, Matty Ice, Rich, Terrible Pete Talansky, the best name in the game, JoJo Comfort, the Hall of Famer Uncle Max, Dave Ramito, and Brian, always early, for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. See what happened when I take a week off? I know what I'm talking about.
You grew your tongue out.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. Scottie D, what you got? Favorite songs remind you of sports?
Well, Max mentioned the one. Then a couple that are Yankee related. Whenever Enter Sandman, I hear Enter Sandman by Metallica, it takes me back to when Mariano Rivera was coming out of the bullpen before the ninth inning, and the doors would open and Rivera would go out onto the field and place would just go nuts. And you hear that song playing, and then usually about 10 minutes later, you'd hear New York, New York playing the theme from New York, New York when the Yankees would get a win. So those two, but for me, growing up in the Pittsburgh area, and in 1979, the last time the Pirates won a postseason series of any kind, 1979, they won the World Series, and the song "We Are Family" was popular, and the Pirates sort of adopted that as their theme song with Dave Parker and Willie Stargell, Phil Garner, Bill Madlock, Tim Foley, Omar Moreno. I mean, it was a really, really good team, and they brought the city of Pittsburgh together with that. And everybody, I think, in the Pittsburgh area, you would say, what do you think of when you hear the song "We Are Family" would go back and relate to that, because it winning the championship in a city brings the community together, it really bonds everybody. It happened here with the Penguins winning the Stanley Cup a few years ago, and I guess with the Steelers winning the Super Bowl. I don't know much about that one, but anyway, as a kid, I can always remember "We Are Family" was a big one, and to this day, it's a throwback to the '79 World Series Pirates. So that's the last time I saw the Pirates win a postseason World Series. I was 6.
Wow.
Woo! Let's go Bucks. Let's go Bucks.
That's
Turn it around. And now we went from "We Are Family" to a guy playing first base trying to run somebody back to the plate.
Oh boy, there it is. There it is.
That happened. I'm sure you've all seen that by now, but we had a first baseman with 2 outs who caught the ball, pulled off the bag, and rather than reach back and step on it, he chased Javi Baez back to home and didn't get him out in a run scored. He ended up on one of the worst plays in baseball. That's what I have one now. We're not family with the current situation. Be Live, over to you. Enough of my bad memories.
Well, that sounds like some stuff family might do, but go ahead, Be Live, your turn.
I very much appreciate Scottie D bringing that up, because I almost forgot about that. That is definitely worthy on the show. And I was close to doing a "what happened," but man, honestly though, what could be said? I would just be like, just watch this and tune in next time. Like this, how do you comment on that? How do you that's just dumb.
That'll be the shortest video of the What Happened series. But this your boy Be Live, the almighty Be Live, 1/3 Sports Bowls podcast. Look at this.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Check out our podcast. All right, cool. So check this out. All right. So I'm gonna start with an honorable mention. NHL on ESPN thing with Barry Melrose. Man, dun, 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 dun. Like I just love that. And you felt hockey for whatever reason. That was just one of those things. That's honorable mention.
Ooh, look,
right.
Right. I'm like, oh, it's hockey night. It's hockey night. Yeah.
Man. So it's like, yo. So the honorable mention. Sweeeeeet Caroline was definitely up there for me, but it's best heard in the Panther Stadium after a home win. Mm-hmm. I don't care what anybody says, all this other stuff that they're talking about, with the Red Sox and Pitt and whatever. No.
Babies and stuff.
Hear 80,000 people strong at Bank of America Stadium singing that, and hear bop, bop, bop. Man, you got to be there. So, but that's not it. That's not it. I'm very surprised. Nobody, and I mean nobody, mentioned "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Like,
yeah,
nobody mentioned that.
Seventh inning stretch.
Seventh inning stretch.
I mean, come on. But that isn't it. The reason why this song right here is synonymous with sports, I guarantee you. I almost guarantee you. You might know it. You guys are very music savvy, but a lot of people probably aren't. The song name is "Serious."
Oh yeah, I know.
By the Alan Parsons Project. I bet you not. Only a few fans really know, but you know what I'm talking about.
And from North Carolina,
yeah,
Michael.
That's a good call. Yeah,
you don't. I'm telling to the point where you don't even know the name of the song. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't remember the name of the song, but I just knew if I looked up Chicago Bulls theme, it would come up for me. But that right there, just you don't. Tell me when
that's a goosebump one. I got a goosebump thinking about that.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Because in back then too, whenever the Bulls were in their heyday, and the public address announcer would go from, "Yeah, number 33 from the Knicks, Patrick Ewing," and then the lights would go down, and that song come up, and then his voice inflection would change. And now your world champion, Chicago. I mean, it was a whole production. That was definitely very cool.
So they had video production, everything very back in the day, man.
It did.
And like I say, who really knows the name of the song unless you really die, or you have to be from Chicago, in Chicago, to really know the name of the song. And I bet you they have their fans don't really know the name of the actual song.
They don't.
I only knew it because we had it on a CD at the sports bar, and I would play it from time to time to get people. I mean, that I saw the name. That's the only reason I ever even knew the name of it, is from seeing it on a CD back in the day.
And you never hear that song casually out just like, no. It's literally synonymous with the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah, they took it over.
It's like you. I remember watching the games on WGN. Like Scottie said, and number 33, Patrick Ewing. And the coach for New York Knickerbockers is Pat Riley. Next thing you know, the lights go down. And you look at the Jumbotron, you see the bull running down.
And this is 1991 video production. So you can imagine the quality at the time. But this was next level. It literally was next level when you had the laser show and everything.
Yeah.
And then you had the bull in the middle of the floor. Like this was next level technology at the time.
It was the perfect song. It was for that. It really was.
Right. Oh man. I could talk about it all day. Eddie Cool, yes, sir. Your time to shine.
All right, I got a few songs. One, of course, as I mentioned, Sandstorm by Darude. You hear that at the South Carolina Gamecocks.
I'm sorry, my bad.
See, your mama raised you better than that, man. Cut it out.
Yeah. Oh boy. She might listen to this.
She see, yeah. Hey, mama, I'm trying. Lord knows I'm trying. But Sandstorm by Darude. South Carolina, University of South Carolina is not the only place where you hear that song. You'll hear it, throughout the world and sports world, you hear it there. Also, We Will Rock You by Queens. I think about sports automatically. It's just.
Yep.
I mean, like when I hear that song, I think about the people stomping and clapping, stomping in the bleachers and clapping and everything. Really gets the blood going. What is another one? When the Carolina Panthers score a touchdown, I don't know the name of the song, but it goes boom 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 da 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 boom 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 da 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 boom 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 boom. You figure I would know that by now, but I mean, there was one point Be Live when we just scored a bunch of touchdowns. They just played it over, and I never got tired of the song. I remember walking around in Atlanta going, boom, 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 boom.
Oh man.
Just because I could. That's another one. David Ramito, he Gary Glitter Rock and Roll Part 2. Especially like if somebody hit the game winner, da 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 da. Hey, like you hear the interview, like somebody trying to interview the person, crowds going wild, and you hear in the background as well too. I used to own. You guys are gonna laugh at this. You remember those things called cassette tapes?
I do remember that tapes.
Yes. ESPN had the Jock Jams. Yeah, ESPN had Jock Jams, and
whatever happened to that? Like that was Jock Jams. Like that was our thing growing up. Like they had Jock Jams and was 2 Unlimited. Are you ready for this? Which was also used for an NHL hockey game. I want to say NHL 97. It may have been, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so those are a few, man. Those are a few songs. I
thought you might go to the Ric Flair theme, the 2001 Space Odyssey. Isn't that a big thing that the Gamecocks?
Yes. Oh, that one too, with the smoke and the yeah. Woo! Don't sue me, Ric Flair, because like I said, I ain't got not a bit of money. But yeah, those are a few songs, man. Those are a few songs, and man, yeah, you think about music, think about all this good stuff, man. Brings back a lot of memories. Just like you said, Be Live, especially about the Jock Jams. Yeah, Jock Jams was awesome, man. They had it was another song like that one was just and then tag team whoop, there it is, and
that was another Jock Jam favorite.
Yeah, it was
throwing another honorable mention, Raised Up by the P. Pablo.
Yes.
And then just because we haven't gotten to this point yet, All Roads Lead to Dabo, Zombie Nation. So that a little techno for your techno.
Okay.
You had Sandstorm. We got Zombie Nation in Clemson.
You better be good. I ain't got my white towel over it. Walk away, wave it like I want to. Yeah. All right. With that being said, Scottie D, what's on tap for next week's Choices of the Voices?
All right, we're going to talk about baseball next week. Your favorite baseball team is winning. They're winning in the 9th inning. Who do you not want to see come to the plate? What Major League Baseball player do you not want to face when the game's on the line and you're up in the 9th inning? And you can go back to anybody. This doesn't have to be a current player, anybody you've seen. Well, I mean, we're not going to say Babe Ruth because none of us watch Babe Ruth play, but let's go to
maybe Uncle Max.
I knew it.
Oh man,
knew it.
I'm sorry, Uncle Max. I put that on a tee and I didn't even see it coming.
I'm sorry. I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go.
As soon as he said Babe Ruth, I'm over here like this. Am I gonna do it? Be Live gonna do it? Who's gonna do it?
I had 2 weeks off, and it's been a while since we jumped on Uncle Max for that. I'm sorry.
I couldn't help it.
Live, you got him again. Uncle Max, we love you, brother. I'll see you in July, man. I'm coming to see you in July, Uncle Max. Oh my goodness.
Man.
So your favorite baseball team is winning in the 9th inning. Who do you not want to see come to the plate to jeopardize your win? Oh, and let's make the bases loaded. Why don't we? Bases are loaded. Ninth inning. Man. You don't want to face who? That's who we'll talk about. That should give us something to talk about next week, Eddie. Cool. On Choices of the Voices.
All right, and that being said, it's been another action-packed edition of the Choices of the Voices. Uncle Max, we love you, baby. We love you.
I promise you we do, man.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
Yep, you heard the woman. It's time for us to get the hell up out of here and go home. But before we go, we're going to hit you with another round of pepper. You know how we do it. We talk about 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really. We're here to enlighten, educate, entertain, and do all of the above. All right. With that being said, I'll go first. All right. In this day in history, back in 1991, former New York Jet Mark Gastineau wins his first pro boxing fight in 12 seconds. Because of course, we had like Floyd Mayweather and one of the Paul kids, and that was just a hug fest. But yeah, Mark Gastineau knocked him one out on this day in history, damn near 30 years ago. Over to you, Scottie D.
Well, I'm going to just pick up right there where you left off. Floyd Mayweather is usually the bad guy. He's the heel, so to speak. But this past Sunday, it seemed like everybody wanted to see him knock this Logan Paul kid out. It was a sloppy, uneventful fight that left fans feeling pretty disappointed because Mayweather did not knock him out or get knocked out. But this is Mayweather's like 18 years older than this kid. He's like 40 pounds lighter than this kid. 10 years ago, Mayweather wasn't knocking out the small dude he was fighting. So I'm not sure why everyone was expecting him to knock out a bigger guy in an exhibition fight. But the celebrity boxing thing, I think it could be hitting its peak right there, because if you're one of these Paul guys, who else is like more of a draw than the greatest fighter of our generation here? This kind of thing comes and goes. It came and went with Gastineau, and he had a butterbean thing going on for a few years there. He was fighting here and there. I will say this about these Paul brothers. They are actually drawing some interest to boxing. There's a very good boxer named Badu Jack who fought the other night and probably had a lot more eyes on him than he ordinarily would because of these Paul guys that are kind of rattling the cages right now. But anyway, Jake Paul's fighting Tyron Woodley here in a few weeks. Like everyone else, I'll be rooting for him to get knocked out as well. But anyway, more money for Mayweather. Be live, over to you.
The rich get richer.
All right, I'm going to give this Floyd Mayweather thing 17 seconds. I'm going to get to my actual pepper point. Floyd Mayweather did knock, was the Logan Paul that he fought? I don't even really pay attention. He did knock him out and then held him up. There's a viral video. Check it out. But that's not what I want to talk about. I do not want to give that any more time today because it was ridiculous. So we've had a crap ton of no-hitters in Major League Baseball. And MLB said, hold on, wait a minute. Enough is enough. Something's really going on. And the owners got together and said, we need to crack down on the pitchers using foreign substances to doctor the baseballs because strikeouts are at an all-time high, runs are at an all-time low, and there's some few stats to prove it. So when they started cracking down, one person came to question, that would be one Garrett Cole, where his his average spin rate, RPMs, per game, before they started cracking down, it was it peaked around 2,600 RPMs. After the crackdown, it dropped all the way down to 2,420 RPMs, revolutions per minute. That's a lot of spin that came off the ball when they started cracking down on foreign substances. And I wonder why. What has really been going on? And so there's going to be yet another black eye when it comes to Major League Baseball and trying to get the upper hand. And Rob Manfred, I'm going to need you to do better, get control over something. Eddie Cool, adopted baseball.
All right, so here we go. We got Roger Goodell. He's the chief knucklehead in charge. And a close second, good old Rob Manford. Scottie D, hold on to your trousers for this one, because guess what? The return of the United States Football League.
Oh.
Yes, that's right. Yes, another one, another spring football league. All right, so here we go. It'll be relaunching in 2022 with 8 teams. We don't know who the coaches is. There's a lot of stuff we don't know, but it'll be 8 teams. All right. It will keep the original team names, like the Generals and the River Steamboats and whatever all those is. Don't forget the USFL produced Jim Kelly, Reggie White, and the 45th president, Donald Trump, because it was his outfit, right? All right. So here we go. Brian Woods, the co-founder of the new USFL and the CEO of the Spring League, the Spring League, he says, we look forward to providing players a new opportunity to compete in a professional football league and giving fans everywhere, Scottie D, fans everywhere, all of us, all right, the best football viewing product possible during what is typically a period devoid of professional football. So
I didn't do it this
coming
time.
next year, we'll be up. I know, but hey, this is what we're reporting. So we'll be up. Yeah. So we'll be up to 3.
Exhausting.
3.
It's exhausting talking about other football leagues.
So we'll be up to 3. Count of 1, 2, 3. Professional spring leagues. In 2022, the XFL, the Spring League, and the return of the United States Football League. Over to you, Scottie D.
Yeah, I did so well the first time 30 years ago. What in the what? I mean, why? Come on. I mean, seriously. I didn't even know about this till you guys told me this. Come on. Anyway. Spring, like we need spring football. For crying out loud. All right. Let me talk about a sport that B-Lab has already touched on that goes on in the spring and summer because it's supposed to, and that's baseball. Baseball traditionalists aren't super crazy about the pimping of the home run, the bat flips, and all that stuff. It's kind of the newer, younger generation. You don't really want to show up the pitcher. One pitcher who seems to be kind of into that, though, is Trevor Bauer, who also saw his spin rate drop just recently as well. However, after walking Ronald Acuna in the first inning, Acuna gave him a little bit of a bat flip on a walk. So Trevor Bauer, who before the season said, I'm going to strike this dude out with one eye shut, did just that with the next time he came up the bat. I think he had a 1-2 count on it. He shut his right eye and he threw it by him for strike 3. So, again, spin rate wasn't working. The Braves would win that game 4-2 anyway, but kind of a show 'em up moment back and forth there, a little back and forth between Acuna and Bauer. B-Live, over to you, my friend.
And I think Albert Pujols got a couple of RBIs in that game too.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at him.
I ain't mad at him at all. The Braves win. Oh yeah, chop on, baby. All right, so this story right here is near and dear to me, and it's a little bit upsetting because I think there's nothing bigger in this world, especially in the world of sports, when it comes to someone that is serving their country, but yet they're talented enough to make it to the pros. And there's very few and far between, but United States Naval Academy midshipman Cameron Kinley got signed as an undrafted free agent for Tampa Bay. But the United States Navy won't let him delay his commission. So part of graduating from any of the service academies, West Point, Air Force Academy, or Naval Academy, is that upon graduation, upon commission, you have to serve a minimum of 5 years as an officer in the respective services. Well, there is there's an exception to every rule, and there's been times where they've delayed the commission. You still have to serve your 5 years, but you could serve it in the reserves, time on, time off, et cetera, for exceptional situations. And the biggest issue is that there have been others before him that were given the exemption and served after their respective pro careers and still maintain their commitment. I'm all for, hey, you sign the dotted line. Yes, you will serve your commitment. But when an opportunity like this comes up, come on, Navy, come on. I need y'all to do better than this. Let the man play football, and then he'll come back and serve his country. And in some form, shape, or fashion. He's never denied saying that he wouldn't serve or didn't want to serve. But you get a once in a lifetime opportunity to play professional sports, and now it's a technicality. And so now there's going to be some letters to some senators, and there's going to be some moving and some shaking. Hopefully, Cameron Kinley can get to play in the NFL, whether if he's good or not. Either way, he still is going to serve his country. Let the kid have his chance right now, and hopefully the Navy will make the right decision. Eddy, cool. The ball.
Third and final pepper point. Yeah, give that man a chance. Third and final pepper point. This day in history, back in 2018, the NBA Finals. The Golden State Warriors claimed their third title in 4 years in a 108-85 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers as they sweep them, 4-0. And the MVP is Kevin Durant for the second straight year. Now, we might remember this finals between LeBron and J.R. Smith.
Yep. Oh, yeah, the free throw rebound and forgetting the clock. Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw that, I'm like, you know what? It's over with. It's done. It's done. You made a mental gaffe. Too much Hennessy will do that to you. Over to you, Scottie D. He's still celebrating from 2016. Go ahead, Scott.
All right. So B-Live mentioned that you don't always get to break the rules, and there was a rule that affected the PGA this past weekend when Jon Rahm had to withdraw after round 3 at the Memorial because he tested positive for COVID. Now, evidently, he had been in contact with someone earlier in the week that had COVID, and he knew going into the week he was going to be tested all week, and he tested negative all the way up until Saturday. The problem was when he walked off the course on Saturday, he was minus 18 and had a 6-shot lead. He was closing in on the tournament record, but the PGA wouldn't bend. They wouldn't let him. I mean, they kind of had to stick to a rule because they've made other people withdraw earlier in the year, and the rule was the rule. So Rahm was not allowed to go out and play as a single on Sunday. He flat out had to withdraw, and Patrick Cantlay would win in a playoff. Crazy thing is, that cost him a little over $1.6 million. God. If only he had been vaccinated sooner. Oh boy. B-Live, over to you.
Oh,
hopefully he can afford to eat this week. I hope Jon Rahm has enough money in his account he can buy lunch.
That hurt. Because with the withdrawal, because he made the cut and everything, so he was already in the money. He was leading the tournament.
It was in the bag. Yep. It was in the bag.
Ooh, good God from everything. He doesn't even get the minimum for making a cut, like even on DQ, nothing like that.
I don't know, but I know the winning purse was like $1.67 million something. So he didn't get that. What he walked away with, I'm not entirely certain.
God. But I'm just like, yeah, can a brother get a ham sandwich or something? Man, woo boy. All right. So yeah. All right. This is a feel-good story for my third and final pepper point because I'm a little upset about the Navy, but this right here is a feel-good story. For those that may or may not know about Greg Olsen, he's retired from the NFL. He still resides in Charlotte, and well, he's been going through it with his 8-year-old son, TJ, and to the point to where The doctors said that TJ needed a heart transplant to survive. Well, news broke on Friday that he received the heart transplant and he is getting healthier by the minute. Greg Olson reached out via social media, and he just said basically, and via social media, TJ actually said, "Hi, everybody. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for praying with me. We love you guys. Bye." If there isn't a tearjerker, amazing moment, because I mean, man, thank you, just all that are organ donors. I am I haven't died yet, and my organs might not be that well. It might be polluted just a little bit, but just for those that are organ donors, this is the reason why that a child gets to continue to live. Thank you so much. My heart, my prayers, my congratulations, everything goes out to the Olsen family. Man, love this story. Absolutely.
That's a good one to finish us up on, buddy. I like that one.
Yep, that's a good old feel-good story. Well, with all that being said, it's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast, episode number 111. Y'all thought I forgot, didn't you? But I didn't. Episode 111 in the books. Fellas, you got anything to say before we get the hell up out of here?
Islanders hold on to win 5-4. They're leading 3-2. And Marvin Vittori and Israel Adesanya coming up. I believe that's this weekend, right?
Oh,
this weekend coming?
Yes, this weekend. Okay.
UFC 263 coming up here. I think that's this weekend coming.
Okay. And just that. Oh yes, that is. I can't wait for that. Yes,
June 12th. That's it coming up.
And I am not working. Oh my goodness, it's about to go down. And just to finish off, because I really don't think that All Roads Lead to Dabo really got much room on this show, and Scottie D just left. But
and he's back.
I'm here.
But yeah, just because I can. Oh, go Tigers! And yet another addition to the Eddy Cool Stank.
You told us the nice
collection.
heart. You told us the heart story, and we were all feeling good. And
Nope.
You had to ruin it.
Nope.
That was a long fart. And with that and in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else, kind of like what you did for Greg Olson's son. They'll greatly appreciate it now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. Y'all be good. Take care. If you get a vaccine, please take care of yourself, because it kicks your butt. I barely got through this podcast, but I did it. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. Bye. See y'all next
Yes,
Sweeeeeet Caroline. Good.
You know, man.